Hello there, everybody. I'm Mr. Game Pie, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Land 2. Last time we finished up Tree Zone and began Turtle Zone. And now we're in Turtle Zone's secret level. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my more favorite secret levels in the game. For reasons you'll see pretty soon. First of all, there's a 1-up that comes out of that block right there. And you might notice that we changed what looked like a W made out of blocks to an M made out of blocks. And now we're going to get some more letters. We have an A, an R. Man, I wonder what this is going to be spelling. Now we have a fire flower. And I think that I mentioned previously before that they introduced these blocks right here, which can only be destroyed by Fire Mario's fireballs. Which makes the fire ability way more useful than normal. Also, the item that I just got out of that block was a coin bag, which gives you 50 coins. Very useful if you want to get up your coin count for the slot machines. But, yeah, so far we've got Mario L, A, man, I can't figure out what it's spelling now, in D, Mario Land 2. Although previously, it was Wario Land 2. Alright, so we got our Fire Flower, we got all of the bonus coins, and we've officially made it Mario Land once again. Honestly, I think that secret exit was the last secret exit that I ever found in the game. Actually, no, it wasn't that one. It was one that we'll see later, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, this time we're actually going to legitimately do the submarine level, because pretty much last time, I was just going straight for the secret exit, because I knew that I wanted to end the episode pretty soon. But here, no, we're actually going to be smelling the flowers, as it were. Taking our time just a little bit. Yeah, here we have the enemies. They're basically Gordos from Kirby. Even though they're not actually called Gordos, but they're essentially that enemy. Also, you want to make sure to hit these blocks, because it's possible to get here later and then end up going backwards in the level. And that's not fun. So you may have noticed that there are bullet bill blasters in this level. And one thing that I want to note about the bullet bill blasters in this game. In a lot of Mario games, if you're standing right next to a bullet bill blaster, it will not fire its bullet bill. That is not the case in this game. If the bullet bill blaster is on screen, it can fire as many bullet bills as it wants to. It doesn't matter if you're, like, 2 feet away from it or 2 inches away from it. It will not care. It will fire bullet bills indiscriminately. As such, you gotta be a lot more careful around those things than normal. It messed me up quite a bit in my practice run, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I played this game whenever I was pretty young. The game came out in 1992, and I was born in 1993, so, yeah, this game is a little bit older than I am. That said, I don't remember when I got this game, but I was still pretty young, probably not even a teenager yet. So there were a lot of moments in this game that really gave me a lot of trouble. And this level was one of them. I mean, I think I already mentioned that Turtle Zone was the last world in the game that I discovered. And it sure felt like a last world to me for quite some time. I mean, just with the way that you enter the world, getting eaten, and, you know, it being the water world and things being a lot slower and more difficult to maneuver around. Though this part, I've always found, was a really cool part of the level, where you're traveling through all these sections of the submarine. That said, I have always found this level to be pretty ominous. Because, like, we're in a submarine that sank. And it's like, that is terrible. Why is there a sunken submarine in Mario's land? What's going on here? What happened? What happened to the crew? Like, is this some Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga ocean? There's a ship in that game that gets sunk in a desert. But yeah, it's always felt like a really ominous level to me. But regardless, we're nearly to the end now. Also, these things, they're not fun. Where they come down, they just sort of block your way for a while. They're probably one of my least favorite traps in the game. So, I mean, I guess, previously I mentioned that every world seems to have its own little thematic. And I don't know if this is obvious or not, but this world's thematic is water. Yeah, it's water. Who would have guessed? But yeah, I got Fire Mario back. That'll help a lot. Because now we're going into a whale. And, yeah, like I said, this game provides a lot of creative set pieces that you don't normally see in Mario games. You know, we had a submarine, and now we have a whale. We are literally inside a whale that has a bunch of fangs for some reason. Don't touch those fangs, they'll hurt you. They are bad news. As are these fangs, which act like the bladed gates of the submarine. At least, I think that's what was going on in the submarine. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like there's those pressurization walls that keep water from getting into other parts of aquatic vehicles or something. I think that's a thing. At least that's my theory on what those walls were. Anyway, let's try to get a power-up here. There we go, there's our power-up. Yeah, as one might expect in a whale, there's water in it. I'd say don't even bother getting those coins. Trying to get the coins and then avoiding the fangs at the same time, it's just going to be too tedious. Also, this section right here, it acts like the sap from Tree World. But then there's also the water right next to it. So we can actually see these mechanics directly interacting with one another, and it's pretty interesting. We can see just the differences between them. Mainly the fact that in water, you move a lot faster. Just as a whole. Oh, I get a star! That's amazing! Oh, never mind, it's not so amazing. This is the boss battle now, and I thought that I was going to get to fight the boss battle while invincible. That would have been really cool, but no, I don't. Also, there's a little uvula in the ceiling. Only the red uvula are solid. The blue uvula, you can jump around perfectly fine. Otherwise, that octopus, it can swim around and it can create little baby octopi, but the boss isn't really that tough at all. It's pretty easy stuff. Yeah, now we have both Tree Zone and Turtle Zone complete. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet is completing the secret levels will actually change the hub worlds in various ways. Like, for example, in Tree Zone, after finishing that secret level, flowers appeared in the hub world. And after completing the secret level for Turtle Zone, the whale would occasionally, like, open its eye and be awake and stuff. Kind of freaked out, probably, somehow. Yeah, now we're in probably my favorite zone in the game, Macro Zone. I mentioned previously that they kind of like to take Mario and then make him, like, a lot smaller than he normally is and stuff. And this world embodies that to a T. I mean, that is the thematic of the zone. You are really small and the world is really big. And right now we're in an ant hive. And there is a secret exit to this level, but I'm going to be accessing it later because of reasons that you will see the moment that I get it accessed. Basically, I'm going to be doing that one after the world proper is over. But look forward to it whenever it happens. Yeah, I remember that I was stuck on this world for quite a while because there's a couple sections in this world that can be quite difficult if you don't really know what you're doing in it. And the thematic of this world tends to be enemy combat. Because, I mean, you've seen already that that level had like a bajillion ant enemies. I mean, there's the regular ants, they're not too tough, but then there were the ants that threw stones at you, there were the ants that got spikes on their back that I got hit by, There were ants with cannons on their heads, just ants everywhere. So if there's a world where you want a fire flower, it would be this one. And notably, there's a fire flower right there. Also, I like this. The piranha plants are actually in pots instead of in pots. Wow, that fireball totally missed. But yeah, those piranha plants were actually in pots, so they were actually potted plants. And I can see the bottom of that piranha plant on the bottom of the screen there. Interesting. Okay, that was physics. The physics in this game tend to be a little bit slippery. Not to any detrimental level, but it is noticeable. Yeah, there we went from the front yard, and now we're in the piping of the house, it would seem. Going into the sewer. You know, Mario is tiny, so that's a reasonable way to enter a house, I suppose. But they have piranha plants in their sewer, so yeah, that's not healthy. Although it does bring me back to where Mario was a plumber. Ooh, star. Don't mind if I do. Stars seem to be a little bit more common in this game than they normally are, or maybe they're just easier to find, I don't know. There is a block that you'll see on the pathway up there, but I mentioned previously that you cannot spin jump with the bunny hood on. And yeah, you would need to spin jump to get that block. So we're not getting whatever is in there. Honestly, it's been forever since I've seen what's in that block. I couldn't tell you what's in it offhand. Also, I previously mentioned that whenever you have the bunny hood, holding down the A button acts as though you're repeatedly pressing it. That is not the case underwater for some reason. Underwater, you have to do every individual press of the A button. Alright, let's just hit this one. See where that goes. That's gonna give me a mushroom, and I don't want that. Alright, well, with that said, now that we've gotten about halfway through Macro Zone, I'm Mr. GamePie, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye!